Howdy folks, here I am again. Oh hey, yeah, that's back there. Hey, I just wanted to bring you in to a little update on some stuff. So let me walk back here. There's still this old Valmet still in the shop because we're just working on it here and there, and the guy lives way up north, so repacked his Grapple cylinder the other day. This is the week of the Grapple cylinders. I'm telling you, things running streaks that way. So I'll bring you back to that. Anyhow, I'm going to show you this. There's the fuel tank, and we think she's leaking down there where it's bolted to the frame. And I did one of these, I want to say, brand new batteries we put in the other day also. I'm going to say I did one of these when I first started this shop. Oh, that was a long time ago. Anyhow, you see the cab is got the big come along on it. And what we have to do in order to get that tank out is we have to release the hydraulic cylinder that holds it and the safety, bring it over, because we don't have an overhead hoist in our shop, and we're going to have to get the forklift over here and chain that up and then catch it as it becomes too much leverage for the come along to hold it. And basically we got to tip it straight away over, because that's the same said tank right here, and we got to remove it from that frame. And in order to do that, we had to take Kyle took the tire off today, so that'll give us the clearance to flip this thing over. So you're going to see that hopefully in the next day or so, that tank coming up. And then I'm going to weld it without exploding, and I can show you how that's done. Diesel fuel isn't so bad. Don't ever weld on a gas tank, ever. I don't care who tells you you can do it. Don't ever do that. Diesel fuel, that's one thing. Don't ever weld on gasoline stuff, ever. You want to end your life quick, that's how you do it. And then over here, Troy's working on this, and this came in a week or two ago, and we did the center section, you remember, and this is kind of his backup to it, so it's been sitting here, but and we had to work on his other machine while So, the brake assembly is usually here. The band, the drum, the piston for the winch is also interior of that. I think I showed you that. But what everybody neglects to do with these things, and this thing is 25, 30 years old, I don't know. They see the leak on the swivel out here, or this little piston leaks here where the brake releases. And then, so what we've done over the years is you always clean that up, and then, see, the drum is just sitting right there. That's the cable drum. You know, these bearings here support it. And if you can see that, those bearings just ride in a little bit of oil. There's a seal, a lip seal right there. And that seal was out, so there's oil coming from behind there also on to the down the brake. It's just good. Keep that clean. It keeps the bearings. Change the seal. Pull that hub out, or that face plate, I want to call it, and we're going to change the seals, re-grease the bearings, get it all back to tight, and repacked, and that'll last another 25 years without any doubt. It's one of the best setups they ever had, if you know what you're doing. And so that's that. We're going to go on to something else now. Bear with me. I'm going to show you why I say it's cylinder week this week. This one's junk. That one come out of there. You saw that. That was for the wood splitter. This one came in today. It's off of a Super Grip, a 28, a 280, I think. 260? 260. And we had trouble with the machine, and here's one of those things where I can tell you, I think what was the combination? Last week we changed the hydraulic pump on it, which is still on the healing bench here, and everything came back to life. The whole machine had lost hydraulic power, and I think we had 600 max on that old 546. So we changed the pump. It went back out in the woods, and about a day and a half later, the grapple wouldn't open. You know, it was having issues. So we went into the valve bank, and in the valve bank we found one of the pressure reducing valves, the relief valve actually, was missing a backup ring, and the O-ring was, and what that did was allow the oil to go right straight back through the valve bank and out and not build any pressure. So we got those parts, put them in this morning, the guy did, and he called up and says, hey, that bucket still doesn't work. So I sent Troy out to the woods, and he got there, and I give him my list of things to do and what to look for, and he followed orders and called me back a little while later, and he says, Mike, there was absolutely no packing left on the piston. Now, could that have caused some of the issues in the valve bank and in this hydraulic pump on the machine? Perhaps. It's still got to get back through the filter into the tank, but it's still got to go through the valve bank to get to the filter. Anyhow, so we got parts coming for this, a new seal kit. Everything else looks good. Even without that, Haldane's has a nice, it's like a piston ring. That's the guide that keeps it in center and keeps it from galling up the barrel. So that barrel is just perfect yet, and so this will be going back out tomorrow. And then this one also came in. The guys pulled it apart, and of course it's not extended right now, so I can't show you, but they pulled it out, inspected the chrome, the seals inside. Somehow the chrome got dinged one too many times on this particular one, so it'll never keep a seal in the gland end, and that's just the way it is. So this one we're going to replace. It's for our super grip. This is a 360, this is a 260, and so actually my wife is running for parts right now, so we're going to have that for tomorrow morning and get these guys back up and running. And that's about what I have to show you this week so far. Yes, I'll show you one other thing, what we did. We're still, obviously, this harvester with its issues. I got to tell you, I figured something out today, and I'm going to show you if I can. Now this is the one that had the tree on top of it. Okay, and I don't know what a full-size red oak weighs, black oak, whatever they call it, but when we got the machine here, we had to literally get inside this broken window with a long stick and hit the door latch to release it, because the push button on the outside, excuse me, the push button didn't work. So I'll show you. Hopefully I don't fall down here. I was doing a little discovering today, and what I noticed a couple days ago is the gap here is about a finger. It gets more than a finger, right about there. I got about a 1/4 inch if you follow it along. And then she goes tight again here. So my logic in my head dictates that when that thing came down, it just, I'm trying to do this while I'm standing on a little step. So when that tree came down on here, I think it shortened up our cab just a fuzz, and it made this push out. Now it's maybe a 1/4 inch, okay? But when I took the door apart, and here I'll show you, I at least got it so I can get, it works now. Okay, when I took that door apart, I'm gonna sit in here when I took the door apart, there's a little screw. And a lot of you guys will know that. There's a little screw in there, and there's a tab that pushes on the release. And I had to turn that screw outwards a 1/4 inch so it would hit the release tab and actuate the door clamp to let it go. So this is just another verification to me that this cab is tweaked and it's pretty much junk. At least I wouldn't assume the liability on it again. I wouldn't put it back into service, and they're not. We've been talking back and forth between all the powers that be, and it's going to get replaced. But then I started looking in here, and you know, I used to be in manufacturing. I know what jigs are. I know what welding in jigs and the perfect fits and engineers do to make things perfect. And I'm just going to highlight it again. Get my flashlight out here. So I'm sitting in with the skylight here. I can look right out. I'll show you. The same thing is transposed in here. You got a slight gap. Nice even, just like a car door. They got a really good fit up. And here, my finger just goes deeper and deeper, and right here is where the bend is. It's got to be just flexed out enough that it's giving us grief. You can actually see it. I can stick my whole finger in that gap. I can push on the rubber bulb. So it's just another indicator to me. And look at how tight it is up there. It's just a beautiful fit, factory fit. But here, I mean, right there, I can get all 4 fingers in. Down here, I'm back to hardly anything. I can barely get my tip of my finger in. So right there, this cab is sprung outward. It has to be. There is no other explanation for it. It's just logical and makes sense. And that's what I'm going with. So, hey, and another thing. I don't know. I'm supposed to be going out to that Paul Bunyan show in Cambridge, Ohio, and I just don't know. I thought about telling you guys, hey, I'm at 740 subscribers or something, and I'm like, man, I should tell everybody online on YouTube that you get me to that 240 to hit the 1,000 mark, and I'll show up for sure. What do you think? You think you can get me some more subscribers? All you guys that are my regulars, you know, I understand that and I appreciate it, and Logger Wade's trying to get me there. I know a lot of other guys that want me to come there, and I don't know a whole lot. I don't have 30,000 subscribers like those guys, but you know, whatever. Sounds like a fun time, and so do whatever you can, man. I don't want to say I ain't coming unless you get me up to 1,000. I'll never do that, but it's the thought I was thinking of. You know, maybe I can convince you guys to help me out, get some more subscribers. So there, that's it for today. That's 13.5 minutes. That should be long enough if I whittle some of this stuff out of here. Oh, yeah, the whole point of this video, or what I got in this machine for. Today, you'll notice it's turned around in the shop. And so what today we did, because we don't know what kind of damage got done to the electronics, and it's been sitting here for 2 weeks, I wanted to test it. You know, I don't care if I get paid for it or not. It's the point is that somebody who gets to fix this from here on down the line, hopefully it's me, but whatever, we need to know if the electronics work. In other words, the auto leveling, the auto boom following functions. So we took it outside, unchained it from the boom, and Kyle and I drove it, you know, on different terrain. I turned everything on. She auto levels. The cab isn't right where it's supposed to be, but we can recalibrate that back to center. And the boom follows with the terrain, so now I can't screw the insurance company because I'm telling you all this. We don't work that way here. Anyhow, excuse me, everything from the electronic components that are bolted underneath this thing and the sensors in that boom and under the cab are working. So that's a good thing. That saves a little bit more hassle down the road, and I was able to turn the cab manually and move everything, and the same with the tilt on the boom. So it's bad enough what they want for this excuse me, this whole cab, but it is what it is. It's got to get fixed right. You don't want an operator having the risk again of if it ever happens again, and I hope it never does to anybody, but we don't want to compromise somebody's life. So alright, take care, over and out, and I appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully I'll see some of you at Paul Bunyan. Alright, thanks again, take care, over and out.